Right. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Haki Ami here, the Success Scholar. It's a beautiful day. Hopefully, you all are enjoying the lovely sun wherever you are. I'm sure I'm hoping and praying that you are enjoying some sun. And we pray for the peoples in Alabama, actually in the Maryland area, of course, as many of you know, but by way of Baltimore, born and raised, and of course, when I see issues that need to be addressed, being active and being connected to what's going on in our community, sometimes we have to address it. So I wanted to do this piece, and I did one a little earlier, but I didn't elaborate. I was in my car. I just, sort of did a 7 minute clip, but I wanted to put some meat on the bones of this particular discussion in terms of Marilyn Mosby uh, and Nick Mosby. But before we get started, I just want you all to, we are streaming on my YouTube, so definitely Haki Ami on YouTube or YouTube forward slash youtube.com/slash Haki Ami. And I'm on my Facebook and my Raising Consciousness and Capital group. So, yes, not just capital, but consciousness as well. So that's essential to find a conscious balance in terms of understanding that sometimes you have to put your consciousness on a line to address what may in fact be an injustice. And so last Friday, many people came out, and I'm very grateful for those that actually came out. Actually, I'm on my Harambe Books page. I'm sorry, I thought I was on my Consciousness and Capital page, but so, I want to thank everybody that came out to the Marilyn Mosby rally, and I want to offer people to go to our Facebook group, Marilyn Marilyn and Nick Mosby Supporters Coalition. But I wanted to put some things out there uh, in terms of you know being objective and fair, but I want to mention some things that certainly are not a particular crime. It is not a crime to travel to other countries with other states' attorneys without using state funds to find out best practices to produce crime and murder when you are intelligent enough to know what we are doing here does not work and is failing the community. Refusing to prosecute black people for marijuana when virtually refuse when you virtually refuse to arrest any other for it. Next, arresting corrupt cops, right? And that's not a crime. Demanding minority contract goals to be met at the city with majority black population, and understand that you can't manage poverty using police in neighborhoods with a 50% unemployment rate for black males 16 to 64, uh, mostly due to criminal records and people needing choices. So that's, the first part I wanted to address. But we and many in the coalition, and of course you can go to the Facebook page, Marilyn and Nick Mosby Coalition, Supporters Coalition, and we feel totally egregious and outraged that we're calling themselves and we're demanding that the Mosbys resign. That I'm sorry, that people on March the 19th came and requested that they resign. So we don't think that that's logical. Uh, what they have done, though, is quelling the Freddie Gray riots at that time when cries of no justice, no peace, and didn't stop until Mosby stepped outside and stated, "We heard your cries," and then proceeded to rightfully charge the police involved with various degrees of police brutality led to Freddie Gray's death. Right, 95% of the people being arrested for marijuana in Baltimore were black people, which gave them needless criminal records, which stopped them from getting jobs with a decent living wage for most of their adult lives. Miss Mosby ended this particular injustice of arresting and charging only blacks for marijuana possession. Uh, Miss Mosby, keen and almost single-handedly understanding that the mass incarceration does not lower the murder rate, since the very few people are in jail for murder, which is made clear by the fact that only 3 out of 100 people in jail is for murder, right? It doesn't work, as the closure rate for murder in Baltimore is very small because very few arrests are made for. Next, putting the FOP and police department on notice that violating a person's civil, human, and constitutional rights will no longer be tolerated. Okay. Miss Mosby's. Somebody just texted me. Miss Mosby's. Okay. Putting the FOP and the police department on notice that the criminal and gang activity practiced by the police will no longer be tolerated in the city. People need to trust the police in order to report crimes to them. She almost single-handedly understands that corrupt police make our neighborhoods unsafe, and we certainly can't have police selling drugs, right? Yeah, yeah. Miss Mosey's willingness to look at other countries that have had success lowering crime rates to learn what really works, as what we continue to do is not working. And Nick Mosby has insisted that we take a look at doing more minority contracting in a city that is majority black. He also insisted that we take a hard look at providing more summer jobs and youth programs for our youth instead of having police supervise them. Thousands of Baltimore youth are turned away from summer jobs every year, and those that get them only work 5 weeks instead of the 10 to 12 weeks when we should have youth works all year round. As their lawyer has stated, this is a witch hunt because they are change agents interested in sincerely addressing inequalities in how blacks and black neighborhoods are treated in Baltimore, while other politicians are determined to maintain the status quo and the suffering of our people as a result of the gross dereliction of duty to people that who uh, as a result of their gross dereliction of duty to the people who elected them. All right, so that's pretty much what the statement that we had coming out last Friday, and possibly we may do another one this Friday. But I wanted to put these things out there. Of course, I want to add my own little understanding of what we have. I want to also encourage people to go to that group that I mentioned, because you can check out the NPR article well, not article, news clip or audio that I had posted in that particular group with that speaks about, the title is, or you can Google it, Why Black Elected Officials Are Targeted by Federal Prosecutors, something to that effect. That was the title that we discussed. And I think that we certainly have to realize that by suggesting that people resign prematurely is very irresponsible. So it's not going to be something that that the majority of the community people will likely agree with. So, that didn't make any sense before there was a hearing. But I want to say that potentially when we looking at the contracts, and this is where, these different, the chamber, the different black organizations, we need to understand, who our leaders are and the quality of people in that aspect, because there's a lot of capital uh, that could be on the line by having people that may not have the integrity or the courage to address these inequalities. And so I'm just putting it out there, doing my part. Of course, I showed up on Friday to, get a little bit more intel of what's going on, but certainly using my platforms. And I look forward if anybody have any comments or they would like to, add some pro and cons, however you feel. Um, you know, I would love to interview you, but other than that, consider going to my website. I'm sorry, not my website, but consider going to the Facebook group Marilyn and Nick Mosby, uh, Marilyn and Nick Mosby Supporters Coalition. So that's all I have, y'all. I'll be back a little bit more, talk about some business stuff, but I just want to take a little 10, 11, 12 minutes out and drop this piece real fast. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in on IG. Thank you for my Facebook people, and thank you for my YouTube folks. So peace and blessings. Looking Melody. Oh, Sister Melanie. Thank you. Hope you get the book. You should be there Monday. Erica, thank you, Erica. I think Erica is from South Africa. They did the same thing to Marion Barry. Oh, right, right, right. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. And Dewan. So, yes, Erica will be in South Africa in November. So, looking forward. Thank you, brother Lindell. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe. And thank you all for subscribing and liking and sharing. Appreciate you all. Thanks a lot. All right. Peace. Okay.